In the previous lecture, we learned what the MAC address is, what it's used for, and how to change it to bypass blacklists, whitelists, and how to hide your identity by changing your MAC address. We've seen how to do that using a tool called MacChanger. And in this video, I want to show you another way to change your MAC address in case you are on a system that didn't have MacChanger installed on it, or if MacChanger didn't work for you. So the method that we're going to talk about now doesn't need any programs to be installed on the system. You can use it with the native ifconfig command. So first of all, I'm going to list my interfaces. So I'm going to do ifconfig. And here's my wireless interface, LAN 0, which I want to change the MAC address. And this is its current MAC address. So the first step is going to be putting this interface down, so disabling it like we did in the previous video. So I'm just going to do ifconfig LAN 0 down. Now the interface is disabled and I can play with its properties. So I'm going to try to change the MAC address by saying ifconfig LAN 0, so we're giving it the interface that we want to modify its properties. And we're going to tell it that we want to change the hardware. And we want to change the value for the other property. So you can see that the MAC address is shown up here under the other. So we're going to tell it that we want to change the other. And we want to set that to the MAC address. So you can, in here, you can put the MAC address that you want to use. So I'm going to use something simple, and I'm going to set it to 001122334455. So the command is very simple. We're doing ifconfig. We're telling it which interface we want to change its properties, and we want to do that to LAN 0. Then we told it that we want to change the hardware. We want to change the other property right here. So we want to set this other to our new MAC address, which is this one. And we give it the MAC address, which is 001122334455. You can use any MAC address you want in here. I'm going to keep it to that. I'm going to hit enter. And because we didn't see any error messages, that means the command did execute properly. So now the last step is to bring the interface up so we can use it. And we'll do that using ifconfig LAN 0 up. So it's the exact opposite of what we did at the start. At the start, we disabled the interface. Right now, we're going to enable it again. I'm going to hit enter. And the interface is ready to use. Now, to make sure that the MAC address did change to the one that we specified, I'm going to do ifconfig LAN 0 to display information about LAN 0. And if we look at the other right here, you can see that its MAC address was changed to 001122334455. Now again, this is exactly the same that what we did in the previous lecture, but in the previous lecture we did it using MacChanger. Sometimes, depending on your wireless card and depending on your current configuration, MacChanger might not work, so knowing how to do it manually using the native commands is really handy. It's also handy if you're on a system, on an Android phone or on a different Linux system, and you just don't have MacChanger installed. You can just do it natively because ifconfig is available on all Linux systems.